Hey guys, we're back. Sorry for the little delay that you haven't seen us. I was out in Germany, in Europe. Management was out in Nationals having a good time. But we're back this week with an amazing card. August 6th, UFC Apex. We have Thiago Moreta Santos versus Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. And I am telling you, this is a fabulous matchup. First of all, Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill is the funniest guy on Instagram. Please follow him on TikTok, on IG. This guy, not only a knockout artist, he is absolutely hysterical. You gotta follow him. Thiago Moreta, as you know, he's a UFC veteran. He's ranked number 6. Jamal Hill, he's ranked number 10. This week, we're gonna have to go with Jamal Hill. And the reason is, in his last 3 fights against Johnny Walker, he fought Jimmy Crute, and he had a really bad loss to Paul Craig. But after that loss to Paul Craig, a lot of people counted him out because it was a really brutal injury at the end with his elbow. But he recovered, he came back, he knocked out Crute, then he had a spectacular knockout on Johnny Walker, standing up, and he's 10-1, and he's ranked 10. Thiago Santos, he's on a 3, pretty much he's 1-4 in his last few fights. And his last loss was to Magomedov Ankalaev. He won by decision against Johnny Walker, but he lost to Rakic. He lost to Glover Teixeira. And he obviously, one of his best performances was against John Jones, which a lot of people thought maybe he won, maybe he didn't, but he lost by decision. That entire light heavyweight division is kind of in a little scramble. You have Yuri as the champion. You have Glover ranked number 1 contender. You have Jan, and you have Magomedov, who just won, and he beat Anthony Smith. You have Rakic, who has a knee injury. You have Anthony Smith, who lost. And then you have Santos fighting Hill, and Paul Craig, who beat Jamal Hill, just lost to Volkan. So I have no idea what's going to happen, but Notorious is making their prediction that Magomedov is most likely going to be next to fight Yuri Prochazka for the title. As for our pick for this week, we're going to take Jamal Hill at -260. We believe Moreta is on the chopping block, and this young prospect is going to come and take him out in spectacular finish. They are both kickboxers. I think this fight does not hit the ground. It's going to end standing up. For our next exciting matchup, we have welterweight division, Vincent Silent Assassin Luque versus Geoff Hands of Steel Neal. And this matchup, why it's very exciting, is that both of these guys are kind of in a similar position. They both want to break into the top 5, but every time they've had like massive step-ups in competition, there's always been some fumbles on both ends. So with Vincent Luque, he's 21-8. He beat Tyron Woodley. Then he had a beautiful submission on Chiesa, but then he lost to Bilal Muhammad. So now he's back. He's sitting right outside at rank 6. Then you have Neal. His last win, he beat Santiago Ponzinibbio, which is great. But then the fights before, he lost to Magny and he lost to Wonderboy Thompson. And the same thing, Luque lost to Wonderboy Thompson. So this matchup, I think, is going to be a really exciting welterweight event because both of these guys, we need to know what's going on. Are they gatekeepers? Is this just a veterans fight? Like, what's going to happen between these two? But in my opinion, I believe that Luque is a much more durable fighter. I think he is the more skilled fighter. He comes from an amazing camp. He's trained with Kamaru Usman. He's always in Gilbert Burns' corner. I just believe he has more weapons than Neal. And I think that Neal's only chance is to knock him out in the feet. If this fight goes to the ground, Neal's getting choked out. And for that reason, Notorious Radio our pick is going to be Luque at -165. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and we are going to rock with him Saturday night, August 6th. For the next event, this is kind of a key matchup. Both of them are having their UFC debut. You might only know one of them, Mohammed Usman, as of course, the brother of welterweight, pound-for-pound king, Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian Nightmare. His brother, 7-2, fighting at other promotions, Titan FC, did a little stint with Dana on The Ultimate Fighter, but in a sense, this is his UFC debut. And he's going against Zach the Ripper Payuya. And this is also his UFC debut. But the thing is, 5 amateur fights, he's 5-0, and his 5 pro MMA fights have been 5-0. So I think this is a cool and awesome heavyweight introduction. The heavyweight division is constantly looking for new talent. They're just kind of very hard to retain good fighters, and a lot of the fights have been just getting recycled or have been on pause or have been on the back burner. So this is really cool. We're getting some new meat into the UFC, and one of them is the champion's brother. But Notorious Radio, we are not going to stick with the champ's brother, Usman. I'm sorry. We're going to go with the Ripper. We just believe he's on a hot streak. He's getting himself an awesome entry-level fight against the brother of the pound-for-pound king. So this is nice for him to make a little name. We're going to see Kamaru in his corner. So I think he's going to have great support. But I don't think that will be enough against the Ripper. So we're going with him. I haven't seen the odds. This is how they're so confused yet. But we're going to take the Ripper on it. For our next is another UFC debut. And we got 2 girls. One of them is Brogan Walker, nicknamed Brogy the Bear. She's 7-2. This is her UFC debut. They're both fighting at flyweight. And we have Juliana Miller. They call her the Killer. She's 2-1 and it's her UFC debut. Both these girls are fighting out of a regional promotion called Invicta FC. So they have solid experience, but I haven't been able to follow them. My gut is going to go to the female who has the more experience, the 7-2, versus the debuter who's only 2-1. So we're going to go with Brogan Walker, and that's what we're going to rock for their UFC debut. So this is a cool card. You have a main event, and we have 2 slots that are going to be UFC debuts. So you could expect really good performances from both because they have a lot to show that they're actually been awarded a main event slot. It's not that easy to get into the main event card, and if the matchmakers decided to give 2 slots in the main event, they're expecting a lot of big things from these fighters. So I don't want you to sleep on them. There's not too much information. There's not too much footage that you guys probably would be able to see. But don't miss out. It's always fun to see new people entering the division. Our next match, we get another heavyweight match. And these are UFC veterans, and I love that they're on this card. We have Augusto Sakai. He's ranked 14. He's 15-4, and he is literally on the chopping block. He has lost his last 3 fights, but let's just speak of the competition that he has lost to. He lost to Alistair Overeem, he lost to Rosenstruck, and he lost to Bam Bam Tuivasa. So it's not his fault. He was meant to lose those fights almost. Though that was too much of a competition for him. Then you have Sergey Spivak, who finally shut the mouth of Greg Hardy. His last win was against Greg Hardy. The fight before, he lost to Tom Aspinall. But he fucking shut Greg Hardy's mouth up. I really don't like this guy. He was really cocky entering the UFC, especially heavyweight division. You're a football player, you're not a pro fighter. It's a big difference. Being a defensive end and being a heavyweight MMA guy, I'm happy that Spivak put the lights out on him. During this fight, Spivak is 14-3, nicknamed the Polar Bear. He is a Russian beast. He looks like a bear, albino animal, grizzly. He probably jumps into the ocean during the winter time. Who knows? We're going to rock with him. He's minus 240 on this card versus Augusto Sakai is plus 200. I think it's absolutely too much pressure on Augusto. Everyone knows after you lose 3 fights in a row in the UFC, you are out. Unless you put up the performance of your life. So this might be one of the most exciting knockouts but we think Sergey will come up on top of this card. So keep an eye on him, and that's who we're rocking with. And our final slot on this card is a flyweight matchup. You have Ariana, Queen of Violence Lipski. And honestly, I think she's the cutest fighter in the UFC today. She's violent, and she's gorgeous. So if that's not enough, you want to watch her scrap, definitely tune in. And her opponent is Priscilla, the zombie girl, Cachoeira. And she's at plus 150. And Ariana Lipski, they're going at minus 175. Unfortunately, as gorgeous as she is, that's not going to give me enough to put my money on her. I'm going to have to go on the upset with Priscilla Cachoeira at plus 150. She's 11-4. Her last win was against G. Leon. She had a loss prior, and she won prior. Versus Ariana, she won, but she's lost 2 prior before, and I just see too many weaknesses in her game, and I've seen Priscilla's fight before, and she's absolutely too powerful for her. This card, guys, remember, is on August 6th. It's going to be at 10 p.m., and it's a fun card. It's free. All you have to do is have ESPN Plus, and that's it. And just wanted to go over our amazing giveaway. Guys, we have a UFC Prism box that we're giving away, but you must subscribe to our channel. You must follow Notorious Radio 718. Subscribe, DM us. That is your only way to win this amazing giveaway. This is an amazing box. There could be tons of cards that could be great investment pieces. Guys, do not miss out on this UFC box. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And always remember, your host, Mitchell, from Notorious Radio 718, and to follow us on all platforms, and we're excited to see you soon again. Thank you. Bye.